Good morning and happy Friday. So, first of all, thank you everybody very, very, very much for the birthday wishes. That's always, wonderful and overwhelming. And 55 feels a little like, I should be more mature than I am. So next week I get to crew a UPW, and March UPWs are very special to me because a lot of huge events have happened during March UPWs, and live UPWs, which we're going to do one in the fall. We don't do those as often anymore. We do a fire walk on the virtual UPWs, which I guess I shouldn't say live. I should say virtual or in person because they're both live. So the in-person UPWs, we get to do a fire walk. The virtual UPWs, we do a board break. And one of the things that we'll talk about is however you show up to that fire walk or that board break is how you're showing up in life. And I remember, I crewed UPWs for years and years and years, and I just crewed and crewed and crewed, and I did almost all of them, especially the ones in the States. And I had a goal to do the fire walk without the use of the trainer, where I walked up and just did it on my own. And I did that at a March UPW, and I was really proud of it. I mean, that was a big deal where I didn't have somebody there making sure that I was ready and stayed. I walked up and looked at the coals and then stood up and made my move and safely traversed the fire. And then the next like 3 fire walks that I did, I got hot spots. Now, if you were really gonna burn doing the fire walk, I mean, you would really burn because those coals are 2,500 degrees. I mean, they're amazingly hot. So what will happen a lot of times is you'll get a little hot spot, you'll get a little spot. And usually for people, it's so that they can prove to themselves that they actually did it. Because as you're walking across those coals, especially for the first time, if you're doing it right, you don't feel it. And so, it feels cool. And so a lot of times people will think, I'm not actually doing this when they actually are. But I got a couple of hot spots, and there was one where I got a pretty significant hot spot, and I was trying to figure out why, I did this on my own, and now here I am getting hot spots. Why is that happening? Well, it was happening because I was showing up to the fire walk the way I was showing up in life. In life, I had also accomplished a significant goal, resolved a significant case, had a financial impact, had done a lot of things with my finances that had taken a long time. I'd come out of this crisis and achieved this new financial position, and I was relaxing. I hadn't set a new goal. And remember, if you're not growing, you're dying. And I wasn't growing. I hadn't set a new goal to do something. I hadn't set a new goal to achieve a new level. And so I was just relaxed. And as a result, I wasn't increasing like this. And so I was kind of dropping down. So as I showed up at that fire walk, I was doing the same thing. I wasn't showing up at the peak state that I was a couple of months before because I had achieved this outcome and I hadn't set a new outcome. So remember, the key to the goal is not achieving the goal. Achieving the goal is awesome. The key to the goal is who we need to become in order to achieve that goal. And once we do that, we need to set another goal so that we're growing towards the next level. We're either growing or we're dying. So as you end your week, it's Friday, and we lose an hour tomorrow night, are you working towards the next outcome in your life? And in various areas, you got to look at finances, you got to look at relationships, you got to look at your health. Where are you, and are you working towards those next steps? And understand, you're not going to do that perfectly. Okay, it's not like every minute of every day you're going to be perfect in terms of how you're moving towards those goals. That plane going from Chicago to Hawaii is going to be off course a lot. But are you focusing on them, and are you making steps? That book, Atomic Habits, taught us it's only 1% increments that you need to make each day. Just a little distinction and a little improvement. And over time, you're going to have significant changes in your life. A 1% improvement each day doesn't equal a 365% improvement. It equals a 17 times improvement. That's 100% times 17 at the end of a single year. So How you show up at the firewalk, how you show up at the board break is how you're showing up at life. So how are you showing up at life? Good time to measure yourself and rethink and make sure that you're focused on those outcomes that you want. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.